Indus Valley civilization, eighth prominent feature, that is seals in relation to art and religion. When we look at the Indus Valley people, they are well versed with brickwork. They made beautiful bricks to build their houses, and they are also well versed with engraving the seals with different types of animals. The animals contain the bull, the buffalo, an elephant, the rhinoceros, and they made those things, engraving them as realistic animals with such micro level art. And they also engraved with urus bull with number of dewlaps. They also engraved the roaring tiger, and these are all the artistic nature of the Indus Valley people. They also produced the human figurines with a red stone torso of a man. In one sector, they also developed statuette natured human being with a man of bust. His hair is coiled and his eyes are half closed, represent a priest. The most striking bronze dancing girl made by the Harappan people is an excellent artistic one, and which is not seen in any of the ancient civilizations. The dancing girl is nude and she wears number of bangles in one arm with a short skirt. Sometimes the bronzing girl is nude and she is in a provocative posture, and she appeared in a bending position with one hand at hip and another hand is on hanky, bent leg. They determined this dancing girl is a prostitute of the later Hindu period who is dancing in the temples and also in most Middle Age civilizations. And this is a beautiful figurine which is never seen in any of the civilizations appeared in ancient periods. And we can also find the god in one seal. There are such seals of 3 occurred in Indus Valley excavations. The god is sitting on a platform, or in one seal he is sitting on floor. His legs are down very close to his body in a sitting position, and he got from his head 2 horns. In the middle of the head there is a plant-like growth growing in it. At its background there are 4 wild animals: rhinoceros, elephant, tiger and a buffalo. So these 4 animals are at its head, at his background, and at his feet, that is at the platform, there are 2 deers on either side. This appears like a Buddha when he is meditated on the peepal tree. This figurine of God, the Mortimer and also Matthews, they related this figurine as Proto-Shiva because they also found 2 protuberances on either side of the head. So it is not representing the human beings. So it must be a god, and named them as Proto-Shiva. And in the excavations, there are number of nude women figurines. The woman figurine is very nude and covered with necklaces in the neck, and it also possesses bangles to both arms and they call this as mother god, goddess, because each and every household possessed them, and also the potters made number of these figurines to supply them to each and every home of the Indus Valley civilization. And in another figurines you find for the children they made number of animal figures, and those animals are the squirrels, monkeys on the pinheads. Sometimes the monkeys are crawling on a spring from top to the bottom. They made the whistles with a ball-like structure. They made cart play tools for them with all terracotta mud. We have also found in other case of worshipping, a peepal tree is said to be holy to them. In one seal we found there is a god with horns, and he is worshipped by human-headed goat who also had horns. In another seal we found that there is a man who represents a sun and two tigers on either side who represents the darkness, and he is the hero, and the two the tigers represent the darkness of the nature. And in another seal we found number of cone-like structures which represent the phallus of Lord Shiva. They are in cone shaped. They are also freely manufactured by them, and they are worshipped by them, so representing a phallic worship in them. When we study this horn god with a plant-like structure, he represented the fertile god for them. So these are all the various aspects of the art and religion in Harappan civilization. We also found in terracotta figurines there is a man who represents God to them. He is like a standing position with two legs apart, and the two hands are hanging without touching the body, and the head is with curled hair, represent like Jain god. They used to worship him. In another figurines we find the dress of these people. The dress of these people is hanging from shoulders to the knees, but there is a gap at one hand, and that is not with cloth. The upper caste people who are living in the pedestal, their dress is highly studded with ornaments and some sapphires and some diamond-like structures. In one seal, find that the people god, that is peepal tree, is considered as the most significant worshipping figure to the Harappan people, and we find a god on the shade of the peepal tree who had the horns, and the god is prayed by a goat with human head and 7 women with pigtails. In another seal we find the number of women wearing the skirt up to the knee, and they are said to be the priestesses. So we can link this prayer of the Harappan people to the present day goddesses prayer, as we found the mother goddess in Harappan excavations. So there is no guarantee of the Hinduistic prayers they made, but almost the gods of the Harappan people represent the present day Hindu gods. When we look at all these things, we find there is no traces of cow in the terracotta figurines as well as on the seals. There is no traces of cultivation of rice in them. The religion is decided by the seals only, and so far the language is not deciphered. So many argued that it is a Dravidian language, but none of them deciphered the language of pictorial nature of the Harappan culture.